Hello everyone. Today I'm going to introduce the types of bioreactors. This is actually very simple also introduction to the topic, but sometimes actually student might not be able to distinguish between these common types of bioreactors. So if we look at what common types of bioreactor, we can divide them into batch or continuous stirred tank reactors or black flow or backed bed reactors. And the differences between these four types is just in terms of flow, basically. If you can have a batch, means that you have a container or I have a vessel or I have a flask or I have a bottle or I have a real reactor that has some kind of feeding board or injection board, and then you can actually put this kind of substrate inside and the reaction is happening, and after some time you can actually terminate everything and decant at once. Decant means that you have to empty the system and leave some kind of inoculum maybe at the end also for new batch, or maybe if you put enzymes you need actually to empty and start over again, or maybe you can leave also some material as inoculation basically for the next batch. So this is very simple system, and it can be used for a small scale, maybe sometimes also for larger scale, depending on the materials that you are dealing with. For example, for pharmaceutical, you may actually have this for very expensive material or very expensive actually feedstocks. So basically, you don't have a lot of material to process. So in this case, batch is the most important or types of reactors that you can use. A second type of bioreactor is continuous stirred tank reactor, and this again is a vessel, but instead of putting everything at once, you can start actually with what we call it effective volume, and then you can feed continuously, and at the same time you can decant. So basically what you can do, you can have certain amount to be decanted and replaced by the fresh material, or replaced by the feedstocks that you are treating inside this reactor. Of course, you can have, yeah, whatever actual type of heating or cooling. Maybe sometimes actually you have to have some kind of controls also. Depend on basically what kind of accessories you have. You can have also a mixer. So basically you can also have this kind of mechanical mixer, or you can actually have also uh, liquid recirculation as mixing, or maybe also if you have gas space or gas head space, you can use the gas as mixing media. The third type of reactor is the plug flow, and this is also kind of horizontal type of reactor mainly, and this can be fed from one end and decant from the other end. So what you have here, you feed the material, and while it's traveling through the length of the reactor, it can be converted into some products. Like here, you have biogas production in this case. And while it's again traveling, you can actually have also materials that is more uh, stable sometimes, or maybe actually have different characteristics, or maybe also the product can be collected at the end if in case this is actually another type of materials that you are treating. Sometimes if you producing chemicals, also maybe while the material is traveling, it's reacting with enzymes and bacteria or archaea, and by the end you can collect the products. The first type of bioreactor is the backed bed, and this backed bed means that you have some kind of material to support the growth of microorganisms, and the backed bed means that the material is the reactor is backed with some kind of inert material, sometimes plastics that can have biofilm to be attached to this kind of bioplastics. Though, so this kind of bioreactor also important for material that has less kind of suspended solid sometimes, and this kind of flow can be also upflow, sometimes also downflow. But in the example that here, this actually upflow reactor means that you inject the material that is treated. In this case, actually, you have also gas here. So the gas also, this is basically the material that you need to use as feedstock to produce some kind of other products. And through this kind of reactor, or through this kind of bed, it can react with the microorganisms or the enzymes if you have this kind of immobilized enzymes. And by the end, you can have also product. Again, you can also have some kind of other way. You have also, if you have liquid inlet, you can also have this kind of downflow feeding of the system, and then you can collect the liquid from the outlet. Again, this is also some kind of just examples, and you can again, this is just meant to for a student who don't have actually enough experience with this kind of systems. With that, I hope I introduced something useful, and then if you have any comment, just leave it to me in the chat or send me an email. See you next time.